Okay, here we go. It looks like here we are. We are live. Welcome, viewers. This is the Saturday morning Team Certainty and Power Network questions and answer session. It is May 24th, 2014. I am recently back from our network event is still going on in New Orleans. I actually went there, yesterday, earlier this week, and just came back this morning. I have my daughter high school graduation, and from the look of things, so did a lot of other people there in New Orleans. We'll talk about that and everything there in a minute. But I want to welcome you. Thank you, viewers, for checking in today, the Saturday morning questions and answer session here of Team Certainty with Empower Network. Hello, Mr. Smith. Glad you could join us. We're live here now, and with Iron Dane Richards. How are you, sir?
Good, good.
Good. I'm having a heck of a time getting on the camera here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the trouble with those remotes. I mean, you're in New Orleans doing a remote stuff. So.
Yeah.
Are you still down at your buddies there in New Orleans, Gary?
Yeah.
I can tell you're on the water almost, like with the wind and stuff. So.
Thinking golfing.
Yeah, cool. Well, I was just letting the viewers know we're going to keep it kind of short today. To be honest, support didn't even send over any questions this morning for us, so I don't know. Oh yeah, it looks nice. Looks nice. Yeah.
It's crazy, It's typical. It's typical New Orleans. You're just in the haze.
Well, when I left you yesterday afternoon, and we spent some time on Bourbon Street, we didn't accomplish what we really, said we were going to, but that's okay, you knew I had to leave this morning, actually today, so I left early and kind of quick puddle jumper back here to Houston, and my daughter's graduating from high school today, so I got a lot to do around here, and a big party tonight too. So, but anyway, Gary, I'm sure that we'll talk just a little bit about New Orleans there, and I think this is another learning experience for Empower Network. Not to do these events on national holidays.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. I mean, and it's they spend a lot of money on these things, and a lot of effort goes into moving these things along and getting them together. And there's a lot of people there, as you know, but I didn't see the familiar faces I usually see, and a lot of new people, which is good, but nowhere near the crowd you had up in Denver, or we saw in Chicago, nowhere close to it. And I think that they're learning. But any event coordinator, that's been in the business for 2 weeks will tell you, you can't hold these events on national holidays. If you're doing it in Orlando, or someplace, Indianapolis 500 might be, if they did it in Indianapolis, which would have been very difficult to do, you may have been able to attract a few people. But Memorial Weekend, Labor Day weekend, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, those you're just not on. They're not good days to get people to go places, and one of the things I've expressed before, and you guys know this, because you've heard it so many times from me, but Empower Networks, it's still the same, type of, a big organization, but they're entrepreneurial people with entrepreneurial spirits. They don't think like insurance company agents, or organo gold, people that sell coffee. It's a different breed, and you can't address your contingency, with follow me, this is the crowd. You can't do that with Empower Network, because that's not the people that make up Empower Network. The affiliates. The affiliates think on their own, and you got to give them that, that freedom. And if you give them that freedom, then they'll probably follow you anywhere you want. But I do like I think they're getting wise, and they're getting away from these regional things. Just having big events. Dave Wood said that. And it was rattled home, yesterday as well. But these events are all good, even the regional ones. With with on holidays like this, look, there's some people that traveled a long way to get here, get there to New Orleans, and I saw them. A lot of foreigners, a lot of I saw a bunch of good I mean I say shit, there must have been 30 or 40 Russians at one table, the restaurant we were at last night, and all Empower people, so. Anyway, how's everything going in your neck of the woods, Mr. Iron Dane Richards? I know you'll be in the North Carolina event, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm going up there. Yeah, there's no question about it. This one, just because the holiday was the big interruption, I didn't want to start a homeland war by not being around. So that's one of those things.
When are they trying to do that South Carolina or whatever?
It's in North Carolina.
Or North Carolina. When are they doing that?
Doing it in Charlotte. It's a great town. I'm not too high about that area up there, just because of government stuff. I mean, not Washington D.C., but that region of government I don't particularly like.
Is it out like 60 or 90 days or something?
Yeah, I think it's. Is it 90 days?
I think it was 90.
No, it's not that. I know it's not that long. It might be the end of July, but I think it's the end of June.
Yeah. Well, one tip I'll give everybody about Charlotte Airport over there, if you fly into Charlotte, keep in mind they roll up the sidewalks at the airport at 11 o'clock at night. And that means they lock down the concession machines. Everything goes, it's dry, the county up there, so do not count on the fact that you're going to get anywhere. And trying to get a hotel, if one plane breaks down, forget it. In that size of a city, you'd think, but I've been stranded there a few times on connecting flights. And it's U.S. Airways prime hub, but I'm going to give you a heads up. Don't try to fly through there at night. That's for sure.
U.S. Airways, I think they need to rename their airline Near Miss.
Yeah.
Near Miss Airlines.
Oh, I tell you. Yeah, I've been stuck there a few times, and then, I mean, you could spend the night on a bench in the airport, but there's no concession machines. They roll down these metal grates across all the vending machines. I mean, you're truly trapped at an airport. I was there one night when it rained in Atlanta, and they held us, and then there was no rental cars even available in town. I was like, are you kidding me? I was going to drive to Atlanta and catch a connector that day. But anyway, just a little.
I think they'd have a moonshine vending machine.
There you go.
That'd be good.
I used a little bit more of that last night. That was my biggest complaint. If I have any complaints about New Orleans, that for whatever reason my drinks weren't strong enough.
A failure with dueling hurricanes.
But I'm feeling it a little bit now because it's got all that foo-foo sugar stuff in it, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't. I was in the mood to be a little obnoxious last night, but it's for some reason or other just didn't materialize. So
they could still be watered down from the flood. The booze might still be watered down from the flood. They're still trying to get that flood.
Yeah. But it's a great city. I love going to Super Bowls there in New Orleans because it's a different crowd, and and everyone's there to party. And even last night on Bourbon Street, I mean, it was packed. It's in Gary, it. But
hey, Mike, here's a great question for you. How do you feel about New Orleans, being as you were very familiar with it before the flood? Has it come back?
Yeah, I think so. Sure, absolutely. And I mean, you still see remnants of the big flood and stuff, but you got to go to the outside. They've cleaned it a lot up, and I haven't made it back there a lot, but I knew I would see even still, some remnants of hurricane and the big flood.
What was that?
It's back. It's
back. Really hard. The North Ward or something.
Well, you have to. It's a geographic thing, and you got to know how New Orleans is laid out. you know, and on the, you know, it's kind of backwards a little bit, you know, and the water comes in and then comes back out. So, you know, they built up the dike and the levees, you know, around New Orleans, but they didn't hold, especially the one that goes right through the city, and that's what happened when it you know, when it went sour and everything flooded, you know, yeah, so, you know, but I think it's back. Sure, I think it's really back now. I tell you, just, you know, and we'll wrap this up here in just a minute. But the mayor of New Orleans, you would recognize him if you saw him face-wise. He's kind of a, you know, he's a colored guy, but he's bald-headed guy. And he's just Cajun. He's a Cajun guy. You know, they're all Cajun, right? So anyway, he was the mayor during all this stuff. He was on the screen, TV with Bush and then Obama, you know, during this stuff and everything. He moved and went. He basically got kicked out of Dallas and was living in Dallas. I think it's either Dallas or Oklahoma City, and they just indicted him. You know, he's going to prison. Yeah, he's going to prison. He's going to go to prison for probably 10 or 20 years. You know, because he was doing a whole bunch of kickbacks and, you know, giving his buddies, you know, he was like a rock star. They said he had a posse with him, and everyone was on the payroll. It was, you know, it was nuts. But, you know, it's Louisiana, you know.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I got to ask.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, as Gary disappeared, I was wondering if he ran across his bestest friend down there.
I don't know. I was looking for him a little bit, but I hadn't seen him. But
his bestest.
I was carrying a bed sheet for him.
You guys, I wished I'd never opened that can of worms. I'm just never going to live that down.
Well, we'll have time to talk about that in private. But
we jest.
Anyway.
I mean, we just jest. We mean no malice or harm to anybody when we say.
Oh, I know. He's just, you know, Gary and him are just, you know, they wear the same clothes.
Oh,
you know.
Like this.
Yeah.
Just tight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey man.
Oh yeah. You ain't lived until you've seen me in a tight T-shirt.
Here you go. There you go. All right. Well, look, we don't want to keep anybody. You know, we don't. You know, but we just wanted to jump on and kind of report about New Orleans, and it was a lot of fun. You know, and Power was in full swing. You know, it didn't have the crowd really. You know, that's the only comment I could say. You know, you know, I saw Lawrence Tam, and a few other people there, and Tony Rush, but I, you know, obviously didn't see Vic Streethouse, of course, and no David Sharp either. I didn't see Sharp. You know, so, and I didn't expect to anyway. But you know, they have this new VIP deal. And I don't like how they're doing this, you know, affiliate contests and stuff. And they need to go back to that top 200. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but they did announce that, you know, they've renovated the back office. You should guys go look into your back office if you haven't already. You know, and when I got my weekly, you know, you've got a wallet transfer, you know, from Empower Network Payments on Fridays, you know, which I love getting. You know, it basically, I went in and basically saw, you know, how much they've changed it. So, and I think it's better. You know, it's moving in the right direction. They got a lot of work to do, but you know, it's moving in the right direction. But anyway, it won't keep viewers. You know, at least here in the States, it's Memorial Weekend and a lot going on, and you know, a lot going on here with me and my family. So I need to get to doing some things, and I'm sure everybody else does as well. So. You guys have any comments, closing comments you'd like to share with the viewers at all?
You know, I think all that's right, Mike. You know, what I see is a lot of young people that can get away, you know, and use this as an excuse to go to New Orleans, and you know, a lot of people are missing because they're spending the time with the families, you know, like you do on national holidays, and hopefully everything gets back on track here. I really want to do that Carolina thing. Yeah. You know, I think that'd be a kick, and it might work out perfect with my schedule. But we'll see how that goes, and hope they get back on track.
Yeah. No, it looks like, you know, they definitely are, and you know, it didn't take them, you know, 1 week to get off track, and it's not going to take them a week to get back on track. So, Just gotta it's like when you buy and sell stocks. You want to buy at the top or you want to buy at the bottom. Well, I would say this is kind of close to a bottom of a bell curve for Empower, and it's a good time to buy and get in. That's the way I look at it. So, and I'm telling my people coming on, it's a good time to get in. It's a very good time to get in right now. So, any comments, Mr. Iron Dane Richard?
Oh, no, I was going to say, I'm just kind of, I wish I could have made it there, but I didn't get to go to the Indy 500 tomorrow either. So, I mean, it's one of the family deals, but that's the other event that the weekend holds for everybody. But, no, other than that, I'm glad at least they had the first one, and, they're getting back on track. I mean, I think that's key. So, but coming up into Charlotte, the one thing I'll say, guys, is they've got some great barbecue up in Charlotte. It's the kind of the northern south, if you would say, barbecue. So it's a whole different experience. And we see the Flying Eagle there.
That's a buzzard. That's a buzzard.
Okay.
Well, your buddy must do some good hunting down there in New Orleans, or what? But
I think they're circling. They're circling Rushlow.
Uh-oh. Okay, well, look, you guys have a good weekend, and viewers, thank you very much for checking in with us today. The Power Network's going strong in New Orleans. We both went down there and made it back early Saturday, so for your daughter's graduation. But Mr. Gary Smith is still there and enjoying himself. It's great weather. It got a little cloudy in the afternoon, but it was nice and quite pleasant, a little windy, but they're on the water. But thank you, viewers, for checking in with us today. We'll be back on Wednesday night. We do these Google Hangouts twice a week, this time period from 11 to 11:30, and then also Wednesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Central Time. And that's the next time we'll be back. We'd love to have you join us then, give you an hour worth of good content. Sorry we're a little short today. It's a national holiday here in the States, and a good shout out to all of our international viewers. We have a big group of them, primarily due to our website being translated into 72 different languages for Empower Network. So I thank you, Mr. Smith and Mr. Iron Dane Richards, and may we all recoup a little bit health-wise and get back. Enjoy your Memorial Weekend, fellas, and Gary, have a safe trip back when you get back to your place. And we'll see everybody Wednesday night. Okay? Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Take care, everybody.